alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Hello and welcome to Alive After Reading. I'm your host, Tim Niederreiter, and today we're just doing a brief episode because I am busy with holiday affairs. You know, I almost said Hollywood affairs. No, I'm not a Hollywood guy. I live in Minnesota, far enough from either coast that people generally don't think of me in the United States. Anyway, here we go. I am reading flash fiction today. So we've got a few stories in the queue, and I would like you to think of this as kind of a little, I don't know, I like to think of I really like queuing up the music, you know, my playlists and stuff. I'm listening to my heavy metal and my other music as well. And I like kind of combining stuff into a nice flow that kind of inspires me, you know? And I think stories have the same capability, it's at least on some level. Audio fiction is not my favorite thing in the world necessarily to listen to, especially because I can't listen to a book while I'm writing a book, and I listen to metal while I'm writing books, you know. But anyway, people, I'm going to start with Give It Up by Franz Kafka. It was very early in the morning, the streets clean and deserted. I was walking to the station. As I compared the tower clock with my watch, I realized it was already much later than I had thought. I had to hurry. The shock of this discovery made me unsure of the way. I did not yet know my way very well in this town. Luckily, a policeman was nearby. I ran up to him, breathlessly asked him the way. He smiled and said, "From me you want to know the way?" "Yes," I said, "since I cannot find it myself." Give it up, he said, and turned away with a sudden jerk, like people who want to be alone with their laughter. The Huntress by Sofia Samatar. For fear of the Huntress, the city closed like an eye. Only my window stayed open, because as a foreigner, I didn't know better. In the morning, poor children would scrub the stains from the roofs. Now the rain-dark head came down and rested on the dome of the embassy. The moon shed feathers of light as if molting. In the morning, the eaves would drip with pinkish foam. A stench of fur came in at the window. I went to slam it shut, but instead I stood there, fingers gripping the edge of the frame. I closed my eyes in the searching heat. All over the city, people were taking shelter in their cellars and under their beds. Once there were 2 children, and they were the only ones on their block who kept the passion for the monsters after they grew up. The only ones. Why should that be? Our dad used to tell us stories of camel herding. He would scare us by mimicking the sound of a lion. The lion didn't sound like any lion from movies or games or anything. It had a whining hunger. It was a tenor lion. Her prowler's voice, surprisingly high and small, like a question. All over the city, people were covering their heads. The leaves outside my window shrank and smoked. Exiles and insomniacs shared their feelings, that each is only one. I feel like I'm turning into this fierce person. A taskmaster to myself, like a ballet dancer or a monk. Are monks happy? No, they are not interested in that category of feeling, but I'm supposed to be. I'm an American. The Huntress left dark patches wherever she passed. She left a streak. In the morning, the hotel staff would find me unconscious, gummed to the floor. The proprietor weeping for nothing like this had ever happened to it in his establishment. Nothing. Had I not read the instructions on the desk? The fierceness can be seen around the mouth. I compress my lips when I'm thinking. Our dad was the same way. In the morning, the staff would run me to a bath. Now the Huntress bent to my window, but she was not there to feed. She was there as a witness. And finally, Curriculum by Sejal Shah. Area Studies. The map was printed on a handkerchief. It is a map of a place that no longer exists. British East Africa. On a handkerchief, you can hold the Republic of Tanganyika near your nose. Around the carved-out section of Africa float pictures, symbols, a rhinoceros, a bird you cannot identify. Strangely, we had 2 maps, nearly identical, except that the print on the handkerchiefs The outlines of the place were slightly blurry. Neither was perfect. I was always thinking about how stretching these handkerchiefs, ironing them, framing them for a present for our mother who was from there. But nothing came of that. I was a child who wanted perfect. They were hers, so would have been giving something of hers back to her. What kind of gift is that? A good one or a sad one, or both? I never did it. I still find them from time to time. Women's studies. 3 embroidered cream-colored cloths, or are they 2, float in the kitchen. They are not framed the way stitching, cross-stitching, and needle points are framed in other people's front hallways, and parlors, and living rooms, and above stairs. They are not framed at all. They are not letters. Pilgrim blue. They are not a repetition of vowel sounds, of consonants. They do not linger. They are flowers, and they curl. They taunt me. What was it that I meant to do? To frame, to hang up. Nothing done. Were they part of what women had to do to show some sort of mastery over the smallest surface? I will never embroider like that. We had to latch, hook, just hours of watching the guiding light and all my children and hooking. The ugliest designs and colors until some design, oversized red and blue, mushrooms in a field, grew mold-like in a shag rug splendor. Visual studies. My friend Anne says, use the old frames and wear them. Replace the lenses. I too wear glasses. This is the one way I know I belong to my family, since I don't really resemble them. They are my mother's cat's eye glasses from the 60s, or maybe it was the 70s. They're broken and I cannot bear to get rid of them. I keep them in a blue and white flower glasses case she always used. I keep them in a wooden box that says Buffalo Baking Powder Company. And I bought one in summer at an antique fair. I was not even 25. What did I know then of the way things break down, of the way I would one day did, of the way I would and one day did. I want to believe I will wear her glasses one day. I keep thinking about these objects that have no particular use, how I study them. 2 handkerchief maps of an area now called something else. Pale, needle-pointed flowers, unframed. Spectacles with the black and gold rims. A relic signifying forthcoming absence. 3 glasses of a mother I will lose one day. And that's the 3 short stories. They're all flash fiction. They're all available online, and the link is in the show notes for each one. Thanks for listening, and have a good week. Stay safe, everyone, and happy holidays.
That tears it.